Hi everyone. Okay, I'm gonna put together the pillow now that I have both of my Scrappy Log Cabin blocks quilted and trimmed. I have a zipper that is 20 inches long and my pillows are gonna be 18 inches. So I'm actually gonna need to cut this zipper down, but I wanted to show you how I do the zipper tabs and then build out the whole pillow. So the first thing that I'm gonna do is cut 2 scrap pieces of fabric. You could of course match this to your zipper or your pillow backing or something, but because these are all scrappy, I just picked something out of the bin. And you want these to be roughly the same size as the width of your zipper and a couple inches in length. So I haven't measured this yet. I'm going to end up cutting this down, but the first thing that I'm going to do is attach a tab to the far end of this zipper. So all I'm going to do is set it right next to this little metal piece, and I'm going to sew a 1/4 inch right there. And I'm going to go back and forth over the zipper teeth a few times. Okay, so now I can fold this open and I'll be able to trim down that side once I get the other side together. So ultimately, because I have these little tabs, I'm going to want about 1 inch of space on both ends of the zipper. So with an 18-inch pillow and 1 inch on each end, I'm actually going to have 16 inches of zipper teeth that are showing. So I'm going to measure from where I left off here on this seam down 16 inches. So this is 16 inches and 1/4, and then my 1/4 seam is going to pull back. The biggest thing here is make sure that you open your zipper teeth and pull that into the middle before you sew this next seam. And because you've unzipped, these 2 pieces are going to be looser, so you just want to keep a finger on those as you sew to help keep them together. Okay, so now I can open that back up. So now the distance between these 2 seams that I've just sewn is 16 inches. And overall, I'm going to have an 18-inch zipper, so I'm going to go in here and I'm going to cut any excess on both sides, making sure it's even. So like I had measured, it should be about 1 inch on both. Okay, and I'm going to actually come back in, so I've cut both of the tab, the zipper and the fabric tab, but I'm going to come back in and trim the zipper part down as well, just to reduce bulk. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Trim it down to 1 inch and then come in. And I'm actually going to trim off that middle bit so I don't even have to worry about my needle accidentally hitting it when I go to build out the full pillow. Okay, so now that I have my zipper with the 2 tabs and I've trimmed it down to 18 inches in length, I'm going to attach it to my pillow. So this is the bottom of my pillow. So I am going to turn my zipper over right sides together, and I'm going to actually pull my zipper down a little bit so I can get started, and I'm going to sew it right along the bottom edge here, back stitching at the top. And when I get close to my zipper pull, I'm going to lift my foot, slide that zipper up, put my foot down and keep going. Needle down the whole time. Okay, so now I can fold my zipper, pull back. Now what I'm going to do is take the seam allowance here that includes both the zipper tape edge and the pillow, and I'm going to fold it to the back side so the bulk of that seam is right here along this edge. I'm going to top stitch down to keep that seam away from my zipper pull. You can see my top stitching there and how I've caught the back side here so that it all stays nice and flat. And now I'm going to attach my other side of my pillow to the zipper. So I'm going to put my pillow top. The next piece, I'm actually going to flip it so that my zipper is on top so I can see what I'm doing right along the edge of that zipper. And I'm going to start by lining up my edges here. So my zipper teeth and other back of the pillow or other side of the pillow are right sides together. And when I get a little bit of the ways down, I'm going to pull my zipper from the other side past so that I don't get stuck at the end with it there. And I've backstitched at the end. Okay, so now when you open it up, you can see the zipper right down the middle. So now I'm going to fold back the seam and top stitch on the side that I just attached. So I've already top stitched this side. I'm going to fold this part of the zipper back towards this side of the pillow. And I'm going to top stitch there. Okay. So on the inside, that's what my pillow looks like. I've top stitched both of those seams to the outsides of the zipper teeth. And then on the front, you can see my zipper is in and I have top stitched down both of these sides here and here. Okay. Now I'm not using a zipper foot for this, and I'm just using my regular foot so you can see more of the zipper. If you don't like to see more of the zipper and you just want to see the teeth as opposed to the full zipper tape, you can, of course, use a zipper foot to get up closer to the teeth with your stitch line. I don't mind it, and I like the pop of color, so I actually am using that on purpose. I'm also not using a walking foot to do my top stitching, but if you are feeling like these layers are really thick, you absolutely can. When I go to put the pillow together as well, my next step here, you may want to use a walking foot. I'm going to halfway unzip my zipper. This one's really important because when we sew this pillow top together, you need to be able to flip it inside out, and this is the hole to do that. So if you don't open your zipper, you're going to be stuck. So now I'm going to fold my pillow right sides together like this. And the thing that I'm going to do is now just stitch around all three remaining sides. So I have the zipper on the bottom, and then I'm going to stitch all the way up to the corner, pivot, and down. When I have the zipper here, because my zipper doesn't go all the way to the end, I had that extra fabric there. So I'm going to fold that fabric so that it and the zipper are facing out away from the bulk of things. And I'm going to start by stitching right next to the fabric side. So that helps that you're not stitching over zipper teeth, which is why we cut that back quite a bit. And I'm going to do about a 1/2 inch seam allowance all the way around. Start and stop, I'll back stitch. Okay, and I'm going to use a 1/2 inch seam allowance around the pillow. Now you'll notice I'm getting some puckering here on these edges. I don't care because this is the inside and this was scrap fabric anyway, but that's because I'm not using my walking foot. Okay, and then when I get to the end here, again, I'm going to make sure my zipper is facing out away from that joint. And I'll backstitch a few times. Okay, so now that your pillow is sewn around all the edges and your zipper here is partially open, what we're going to do before we flip it, we're going to come in and we're going to clip our corners. So just on a 45, you're just getting rid of bulk in the corners by clipping that excess. but you don't want to get too close to your stitch line to where it could pop. So I'm going to clip the top two, and I'm going to clip the bottom two at a diagonal as well, so that that corner ends up being nice and square. So that's what that looks like. The zipper here, and I'll come and do the other side as well. Okay, so now I can reach in here, I can unzip the rest of the way, and I can pull my pillow casing right side out. And I can start puffing it up here, push out my corners. You can get in there with some dull scissors, but I think my finger works pretty well. I'm going to make sure I pop out my bottom corners here. See how that pops out nice and square because we have that fabric tab. Okay, so there you go. That zips right back up. And here we have a super cute pillow cover. So I have an existing pillow form that I'm going to put this over, but you could of course stuff this if you wanted to and just use that for your pillow. And the nice thing about the zipper is it's washable, so I can just pop it off and wash my pillow as much as I need to, and they're super fun. Because I spray basted this, I'm going to make sure I wash it before I actually use it, so I'll throw it in the laundry and just make sure to get all that spray based out of there. And otherwise, this project is done, and I love that these are reversible. I have one more to make, and then I'll show you the finished product.